Hi everybody. Today I'm going to walk you through the basic tool worksheet. I'm going to give away the answers. So hopefully you struggled with it a little bit and now you're ready to hear the answers of how to do it. You should have downloaded it from Blackboard. I went ahead and put a CS2 version, CS4, because some people had older illustrators, so I wanted them to be able to open it and to be able to see all 3 pages. But let's see, our CS6 is actually the top one, and that's what Illustrator version I'm working on. So when I clicked it, just so you know, my software is trying to open it. It can't in the window, so I'm going to exit out. So instead, I'm going to have to right-click and say Download Linked File. I'm on a Mac. I can also hit Option and click it, and that will download it as well. If your Mac doesn't have the right clicker, it only has a left, you just hold Option on the keyboard and then click it, and that should download it as well. In that case, I'm going to have to go to Finder and go to Downloads and find this file. Okay, so when I right-clicked it, it was smart enough. Oh, you know what? I take that back. Does save it as an AI? Maybe not, no. I think it saved it as .ai.ps. So you want to be familiar with what a file extension is. And it's the last letters after the last dot, and it communicates with your computer to tell it what program to open it up in. PS stands for PostScript. It happens a lot when you download files from the internet. That's not going to work for us. This is an Illustrator file, so we're going to have to highlight that and delete it. And many of you might have had this problem, so I want to make sure we all know how to do this. It's so great to know how to do this because this will happen to you, and it can be really frustrating, and it's so easy to fix. So just delete that .ps. Are you sure you want to change your extension from PS to AI? Absolutely, I'm positive. So use AI. And now all I have to do is click it, I give it a double click, and it opened up. Okay, so the first part of this assignment is to read instructions. Use a red stroke color. So this is going to show me that you know what a stroke means. And clear fill, not white fill. Tricky. And trace the below paths using the pen tool. Don't use the pencil. I want you to use the pen tool. Use a 6-point stroke width. That's where I'm going to stump a lot of people. A lot of people don't read that. Okay, so right now my fill is white. I'm going to change it to none. And my stroke is black, so it didn't say what shade of red, so I can pick whatever red I want. My stroke is at 1. I'm going to change it to 6. Now I'm ready to go. Use the pen tool. You can hit the letter P. Okay, so to draw this segment with the pen tool, I only need to draw anchor points. Segments will automatically connect between anchor points. So I don't need to go click, 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 click. I don't need to go that all the way down. Don't need to do that. Delete. I just need to do 1 anchor point at the front and 1 anchor point at the end. Voila! My segment automatically connected. This worksheet is designed to teach you where to place anchor points. And the answer is you place an anchor point whenever your line changes direction. This is actually a rule of thumb in pattern making too. You want to know where you go in the most, where you go out the most, where do these curves change direction. That's really how you draw clothing. So here, and the way it changes direction is you really want to think of an axis. Your direction can either go up or down, or it can go left or right. A diagonal line, for example, is going up, 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 and to the right, so it can do 2 directions. So this line, for example, is going to the right, and it's also going down. Here it's going to the right, but now it's going up. So the whole time, this line is continuing to work towards the right. It never makes a left-hand turn and goes back left. It's continuing to go to the right. Where it does change directions is on the up and down axis. It goes down, and then it stops and changes directions and starts to go up. So that's where that would be a great place to put an anchor point. So you put an anchor point where it starts. Ooh, what just happened right now? Does anyone know? My pen tool kept drawing. I need to reset it. I need to say, hey, I want a brand new path. I don't want it to be connected. I'm going to hit Command Z, Edit Undo, and I'm going to hit the letter P, and that will start a new path. So now I can click my anchor point, and it's now a new path. It's not connected to the path I just drew. Okay, back to business. So I'm going to go down, 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 down. Suddenly it's not going down anymore. It switched directions. Click. That's a great place to put an anchor point. Up, 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 up. This is where it changes directions. Click. Okay, so let's say you're kind of going fast and you got a little messy. What do? Should I delete it and just draw it again? No, that would take forever. So instead, you can use your direct selection tool and move the anchor points where they should. You can zoom in, keyboard shortcut letter Z, keyboard shortcut letter A for the white arrow, and move that anchor point where you want it. Isn't that handy? It's so nice. Okay, get there where you want it. Okay. Then Command 0 zooms out and we'll show the whole page. All right, I'm going to hit the letter P. I'm going to do the same on number 3. P. What happened? Command Z. P. Click. Click. P. Click. Click. P. Okay, 4 and 5. I know. They're not easy. They're a little bit difficult. Now we have to figure out how to draw curves. So when we draw curves, we still want to use the same rule with the anchor points, that you place the anchor points wherever your line changes direction. Don't worry about the curve yet. Just really think about, where should my anchor points go? And in this case, they should go in the same place as number 2. Down, 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 click, up, 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 click, down, 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 click, up, 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 click. This line is always moving towards the right. He never stops and decides to go left. He's always going to the right. The only time it changes directions is when it's going down or up. So you really only need an anchor point at the beginning, one here, 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 here. You get the idea. Now, where the curve comes in is with our handlebars. Takes practice. To pull out the handlebar while you're driving while you're drawing, you click and drag with your mouse. Click and drag means you hold the button down while you slide your mouse. Okay, I clicked an anchor point. I did not click and drag. There's no handles. I've decided this is the best place for an anchor point because we're changing from going down to up. So I'm going to click with my mouse. I'm still clicking. I'm still pushing the button. I did not lift up yet. You can see my blue line. If I release the mouse right now, it's just going to be a straight blue line, just like what we drew in number 2. But instead of releasing, I'm going to drag my mouse, and look at this. These handlebars are coming out. See? Check that out. So we got to figure out, how do we get this curve? Handlebars can go short, they can be long, and they can go 360 degrees. There's too many choices of where to release. Okay, so it's a little clumsy your first time using it. That's okay. We'll just keep practicing. We'll work through it. So anyways, you just got to get comfortable. I don't have a good answer of really how to navigate. All I can really tell you is that where the circle of the handle is, that's where it pulls your curve the most towards that direction. I don't know. Okay, now Illustrator gave us a little gift. Do you see the gift? It's another handlebar. We have not drawn the next path yet. We have not put another anchor point, but it gave us a symmetrical handlebar to the one we just drew, thinking, hey, maybe you want it to be symmetrical. I'm going to accept the gift, and I'm just going to click the anchor point, and automatically there's a curved line because of that handlebar that Illustrator gave us. If I did not want that handlebar, I'm going to hit Command Z. If you hover over that anchor point and click it, it goes away. And then you can click, and you'll see you'll have a straight line if you just release the mouse. or you can click and drag and bring out your own handlebar. Okay. Now, if you draw your own handlebar, you can see it there. It gave us the gift again, and you might not want that gift. So I'm going to hit Command Z and click it so it goes away. I think this time I'm going to accept the gift. Now again, got a little messy, it's not perfect. Am I going to delete it and redraw? No, it'd take too long. So I'm going to get my friend, the white arrow, and I'm going to pull my handle. I'm not pulling the bar. I'm not pulling the line, the path line. I'm pulling this teeny little circle. You can move the anchor points wherever you think they should go. And play with your handlebars, move your anchor points. And there you have it. Okay, let's do this again. P, got my pen tool. There's automatically a curve here. I'm going to click and drag a little bit of a handle point. Okay, even though there's a curve here, I'm not changing directions. I'm still, the whole time, I'm going to the right. I never reverse and go left. So that direction is always the same. But I do go down, and then I go up, and then I go down, and then I go up. There's just more curves than number 4. Number 4, these are not curve points. They're angular. The curves are down here. Number 5 has curves on all the anchor points. So I pulled out handlebars because I knew there was a curve there. I could see it. And the next place for an anchor point, it's not here because I'm not changing directions. I'm still going down. It's right here. Because now I go up. This is as high as you go before switching directions and going down. That's the best place. I know, it's tempting. You can probably sit here and make it look great with a whole bunch of anchor points. But the problem is in Illustrator, in fashion design, we might use this for a neckline. And we might decide we need to change our neckline. It's too low. I need to change it. It's a pain in the butt to change it if you have a whole bunch of anchor points. It's going to take you forever. You basically should just redraw it. But if it's simple and smooth, all you have to do is click the one anchor point and change your neckline. It's a lot easier to control and it's so much smoother. So, I mean, in Illustrator for fashion design, we're not drawing our CADs from scratch every day. We're usually changing them a lot. Or we might have a CAD or a sketch from a library just to start with, and then we manipulate it and change it. So you want to make sure your sketches are drawn with as few anchor points as possible because it will make your drawing so much faster and your sketches will look a lot better and smoother. So in order to do this, it does require getting used to these handlebars, getting used to the pen tool. It's a sacrifice we're going to make. We're going to nail this pen tool and get used to it. Okay, I hit Command 0 to zoom out. I'm going to go over here to number 6. Instructions say use the pen tool to make the below zigzag a straight line. Okay, so I just selected it, but to make it a straight line, I have to use the pen tool. So what do I do? If you notice, my pen tool has an asterisk, but if I hover over an anchor point, that asterisk changes to a negative sign. Click. So it's deleting anchor points, and now it's making my line, oh, it's not working anymore. Maybe I have to go click the negative if it wasn't defaulting. Okay, it's gone. Perfect. Use the direct selection tool to make the below zigzag a straight line. So now it wants me to use the white arrow. So you can click that anchor point and bring it up. It's nice having these little guides, these smart guides help us. You see that green line? Helps us. Cool, so these two lines look exactly the same. We drew them differently. Use the direct selection tool to make the below a zigzag line. You can also hold more than one anchor point at the same time if you like. I click that one, it's blue. If I hold shift, I can get another one and 3, and then pull them all down at the same time. And if I hold shift, it'll keep them to go straight up and down. If I let go of shift, I might, put them at a funky angle. If I hold shift, it will keep them straight up and down. So that's handy. Use the direct selection tool and the pen tool to make the below a zigzag line. So let's get our pen tool. See the little plus sign? Add some anchor points. Hit the letter A, get my direct selection tool here, holding shift, click and drag, I get a zigzag line. Okay. Move the circle to the yellow box. Why is it not moving? Is it broken? What do you guys think? Oh, maybe it's because I have the white arrow, right? Let's try the black one. It's not moving. Does anybody know why? What if I hold it by the stroke? Hey, look at that. This particular selection doesn't have a fill. It's like trying to hold a ring in the middle. You can't hold a ring by the middle. You can hold a pie if there's a fill. If there's a fill color, I can move it. But if there's no fill, you have to grab it by the outer ring. Click, drag, and drop. That happens to a lot of students. It might happen to you. You might want to move something. You're like, why won't it move? You got to grab it from the stroke. But if you grab it right here, you might change it. The shape, so that can be annoying. So you really have to grab it actually on your segment line. You can't grab the anchor point. It's so picky. You'll get used to it. Okay, move the pink happy face to the back. First start off by selecting it. I know students love going to object arrange. My advice is don't bother with it. Use your copy command tools. So select it, copy and delete it at the same time by hitting Command X, or if you're on a PC, hit Control X. Copied it and deleted it. Now Command B. Boom. Way faster. Go ahead and object arrange, send back. Change the color of the happy face's smile. Well, if I select it with my selection tool here, how am I going to change it to be red or orange? That didn't work. It's all grouped together. So there's two things. I can just get our direct selection tool and only select the stroke. Uh-oh, it's still black. What did I do wrong? I hit the fill. Let the fill stay clear and make sure the stroke is on top. Now I can change it to red. You can do that, or if you'd like to use the black tool, you click your object, and then to temporarily ungroup it, double click, click, click. It isolated it. So now the mouth is free. I can change it to whatever color I want. I can even change the eyeballs if I want. Give them a fill color, no stroke. Do whatever I want. Double click. Delete one eye only. Same thing. Either get your white arrow and delete it, or double click and use your black arrow and then double click to get out of it. A lot of times students, I find, accidentally double click. They don't even realize they did. They're like, why is my screen a weird color? And they're like, why won't this move? So just be careful. It's a double click. The white arrow, just so you know, I'm going to zoom in. Only one anchor point has been selected right there. If I hit delete, only that anchor point deletes. But all the other ones are blue, so if you hit delete again, it will also delete. So, fun times with the selection tool. Okay, so that is how you do the worksheet. I hope it made you guys a little bit crazy and a little bit frustrated, but I also hope you learned a lot and have a little bit more control with the pen tool, which will enable you to get very creative and actually have a lot of fun drawing some fashion illustrations. Thanks.